Game is, you know what Squid Game is. It's that Korean show that's basically everywhere, and it's now Netflix's most watched show ever. Anyway, every episode is written and directed by Hwang Dong-hyuk. People compete in games. If you win, you get millions of dollars in Korean currency. If you lose, you fucking die. The last Korean show or movie to get mainstream attention in America was Parasite, another movie about economic inequality. South Korean filmmakers must really hate the class divide. Anyway, yes, this show is about the class divide. First by showing the lower class main character's struggles in life, and then the poor's desperation to do anything for money, and then it keeps expanding on that. And the show is great at it. But it also excels at providing tense and visually interesting games. They're basically like a cross between a Japanese game show and a less torture-y jigsaw trap. The bright colorfulness of the game sets, which you probably won't be able to see in the black and white that I've been forced to put Netflix videos in, are excellently contrasted with the dullness of the world outside. And they also serve as a great juxtaposition to the violence and darkness of what's actually happening on them. But beyond all that, they're just tense and fun to watch. Except of course when they're not fun to watch at all. Then they're just devastating. The characters are likable and you actually care whether or not they get out alive. I guess the complaint I have is when they have a few scenes in English in the second half. The acting and dialogue aren't great, but it wasn't enough to take me out of it. Of course, the season ends open to another season. And I think it's pretty obvious that they're gonna make it now. And I'm eager to see where it goes from there. It's an intense, at times emotional thriller with plenty of thoughtful social commentary.
Squidward is my best friend in the world.
I decided to accept your invitation,
I have to leave immediately.
just as things were getting interesting again.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
No Time to Die is the final movie to have Daniel Craig as James Bond, from Kerry Joji Fukunaga, director of Beasts of No Nation, who also wrote this movie along with Neil Purvis, Robert Wade, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. As you might already know, it was originally supposed to come out in March or April of last year, but was among the first movies to be delayed by the pandemic. The story involves a killer virus. This is actually meant to feel like the end of an era, not just some one-off adventure where they have James Bond come back in the next movie and he looks different, but otherwise everything is exactly the same. Things happen here that they absolutely will have to bring up in the next movie. In fact, I'm actually not 100% sure where the series will go from here. For now, this is a great final chapter. It still has Daniel Craig's great performance and some good action scenes. Another standout is Rami Malek as the villain. I saw this with my parents, not the coolest thing to say in a video, and before seeing it, my mother was skeptical, saying that he was too young to be a Bond villain, but by the end, she was completely sold. At the same time, it also feels more mature than most Bond movies, and it ends on an emotional note that took me by surprise. I really was not expecting it to end like that. However, at almost 3 hours long, it can't help but feel like it drags a little. But overall, this is a great Bond flick and a great send-off for Daniel Craig. It left me curious for the future of the franchise and eager to find out.